Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, thank you very much for having me at this conference. My name is Akbar. I am a lecturer at the State Islamic Institute of Palopo in Indonesia. I am now studying a PhD at the University of Newcastle in Australia, and my research interest is academic integrity. Let me start first with the rationale of this research. As we all know that academic integrity is vital for the internationalization of higher education. This is because academic integrity has a significant impact on the quality of academic culture and institutional practice. Research has shown that the creation of culture in relation to ethical values at all levels of higher education is central to maintaining and developing academic integrity. This culture can in turn have positive impacts on students' ethical behaviors and the creation of an ethical environment. Much of the research of academic integrity related culture explores institutional and national culture among international students in Western contexts. We are interested in contributing to this knowledge base by investigating higher education institutions in the Muslim world and the relationship between national and institutional culture and academic integrity. So today I'm presenting our research entitled Academic Integrity in the Muslim World, more specifically focusing on mapping challenges of culture. Based on the research gap, this paper has two aims. The first aim is to present key literature that explores academic integrity among higher education institutions in countries with a majority of Muslims. The second aim is to map cultural challenges related to maintaining and developing academic integrity in higher education in the Muslim world to inform policy and practice. To achieve this research aim, we designed an integrative review to collect and synthesize key literature of academic integrity in higher education in countries with a majority of Muslim people. Our search strategy was to collect key literature uh, published from 2010 to 2020 for the integrative review. We searched key literature from two sources. Firstly, reviewing the Handbook of Academic Integrity, and secondly, by database searching using EBSCOhost and ProQuest. We also used criteria for selecting the research articles. The first criteria was that we only collected articles that explore Muslim context. For this, we used a list of countries with a majority of Muslims. We selected academic culture and academic integrity culture as the subject of our searching. At this stage, we included qualitative and quantitative research designs. Furthermore, we only articles that were peer-reviewed and available in full text and focus on higher education, colleges, and university were included for further analysis. We then deployed a combination of keywords such as Islamic culture and academic integrity. As a result of this search strategy, we collected 6 book chapters with the context of countries with majority of Muslims, 49 articles from the two databases. The abstracts were read to decide whether they covered the appropriate content and context, and duplicates were removed. Finally, we identified 24 articles that consisted of 8 articles addressing the topic of cheating and culture, 10 plagiarism focus articles, and 6 articles that discuss broader ideas around academic integrity and culture. Before further discuss about the result of the review, it is important to clarify the demographic or regional scope of the study. We mapped countries with the majority of Muslims that were identified from the 24 collected articles. Looking at the map, you can see two African countries, Egypt and Nigeria. And in the Middle East, we found articles from the United Arab Emirates, Sultanate of Oman, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. Four Asian countries, namely Malaysia, Pakistan, India, and Indonesia, were also discussed among the selected articles. Indonesia and United Arab Emirates had the highest number of country-specific papers, 4 and 3 respectively. However, Malaysia and Saudi Arabia were also an important focus of the publication regarding academic integrity in the Muslim world in general. It is also important to say here that demographic mapping does not necessarily represent frequency and prevalence of academic integrity breaches, but it does represent publication and academic interest in researching academic integrity. Now we present key topics of academic integrity literature in the Muslim world. In general, we found three key issues in the literature related to academic culture in the Muslim world. They are cheating related articles, plagiarism related articles, and articles that explore academic integrity and culture more broadly, including plagiarism and cheating, and all other categories of breaches. Among the cheating related articles, 4 studies explore the prevalence of cheating behaviors. 2 studies focused on finding solutions through interventions. The other 2 studies explore 2 emerging themes of behaviors leading to cheating, such as free riderism and publication in predatory journal. In the article related to plagiarism, 2 of them explore plagiarism policy. One article focuses on the types of plagiarism and preventive measure. We found 2 articles explored specific cohort of students and roles of staff in combating students' plagiarism. 5 studies focus on psychological motivation of plagiarism, researcher perceptions of plagiarism, the impact of Islamic values to avoid plagiarism, historical perspective of plagiarism, and plagiarism in the Muslim world. 6 articles explore academic integrity in broader concept. 4 of them studies challenges of maintaining and developing academic integrity cultures, and 2 studies explore students' perception of ethics and moral values. These 24 studies were then analyzed to map challenges faced by higher education institutions in the Muslim world that specifically related to culture. This slide describes internal challenges and external cultural challenges of academic integrity in higher education institutions in the Muslim world. As you can see on the left side of the picture, there are a number of internal cultural challenges. By that I mean challenges related to institutions themselves, academic staff and students themselves. Within institutions, there are often institutional challenges such as a lack of institutional resources and policy to support staff, and that actually prevents the development of positive academic culture. There is also lack of prioritization of academic integrity and a lack of detection and punishment. Some of the research suggests that this is because of negative academic culture within institutions such as nepotism, cronyism, and corruption. Therefore, some more important academics or those with influence cannot be reported, or it would have a negative impact on the career of the whistleblower. Another serious issue is that departments within university often lack effective cooperation and operate as entirely separate entities. As individuals, lecturers and professors themselves experience cultural challenges which prevent them from supporting academic integrity. Number one, there is institutional pressure for them to publish their own research as rapidly as possible and to pass their students and to give them good marks. Hence, lectures avoid reporting students, or even investigating potential breaches. There is also a lack of knowledge about academic integrity culture and what constitutes academic integrity, and that leads to breaches of academic integrity, and even amongst the staff themselves, which make very poor role model for the students. Students as individuals lack knowledge and skills to perform their academic task with academic integrity, and poor uh, behaviors from some academic staff makes it even worse. Some students also experience peer influences that negatively impact on their behaviors. But then there are also external factors from the general Muslim culture and the culture of the countries in which the students and academics live. In terms of society, a lot of Muslim cultures are very focused on collectivism, which means that students and staff do not want to harm others in the community, and also believe that they should work together and they don't necessarily have academic ownership. There is also what we call a Wasta culture, which is generally a culture related to influence and power. Certain people are allowed to get away with academic integrity breaches because these people have power and therefore cannot be punished. Then there is also a lot of parental pressures, particularly in many Muslim majority countries. The parents do not necessarily have an academic background themselves, and therefore they do not understand the pressure of the students are placed under, and therefore expect their children to achieve good marks. Then there's also what is called a nanny culture, in that many Muslim majority countries, particularly in Middle East, children are raised by a nanny who is expected to help them with their homework and help them with the work. And sometimes this results in academic integrity breaches where there are not clear boundaries. Uh, the learning culture also affect academic integrity. In Muslim world, we often have a tradition that some say have been derived from Quranic text of memorization and repetition. And in many Muslim majority countries, there is also very exam-oriented culture. The culture can also be teacher-centered, where the students focus on copying and imitating in order to show respect for the teacher and the content they are learning. This is particularly important in relation to religious texts. Finally, in Muslim majority countries, just as the countries all over the world, we have new technology, and the prevalence of the internet has resulted in copying behaviors and copy and paste behavior, as well as the use of contract cheating services. Finally, the result of the research was in no intention to stereotype the Muslim world with these cultural challenges, but we do expect that this conceptual map can help trigger discussion of about certain cultural challenges that policymakers and policy implementers need to be aware of. Also, policymakers and policy implementers need to uh, ensure that they have addressed these cultural challenges through their current academic integrity policy and practice. Otherwise, creating ethical environment can be just a mirage. Thank you very much for your full attention. If you have any questions about my presentations or my research, you can contact these emails. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.